Hi, this is Diyana, and I'm here today with Cik Mashittah Nordin. She's a technical analyst in the company Experian. So should we begin? The first question is, so you took software engineering in university, right? So when did you first decide that you wanted to study this?
In high school, I started using Microsoft Front Page. After SPM, my dad sent me to some classes. Classes, and they had, and I started to like it, and they had a competition, and I actually won. So,
So that's
yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, were you inspired or influenced by anyone, or was it just that experience that got you?
Just that experience.
It was experience.
No one in my family or my friends were into IT.
Okay. So, how was your transition from studying software engineering to actually working in the field? Was it hard to secure a job?
No, not really. Well, it's not hard to stay in one place, but it's hard to, when you start, you have to know your career path. For example, in IT, you have development, and then you have support, database, business, and stuff like that. So even in college, I like development. So as soon as when I started working, I knew what my career path should be like, and I always set that as a target.
So basically, how long have you been working for this company?
2 years.
2 years, and is this your first?
This is my third company.
Your third company, okay. Next question. So, what skills do you deem necessary for this career? Like communication, social, is that really important?
Well, before I was in development, so you'd need a strong programming logic to survive, because it's mostly men, so mostly guys. And then, in this company, in Experian, it's delivery, meaning the development team has already developed a product. So what the delivery team does is, put the products together, integration, customization, and deliver it to the client. So for my current position, I think the first part is the basic technical skills, and the second part is dealing with clients. That's important.
So, do you consider yourself to have a really deep passion for your work? Are you excited to go to work every day?
I do love my job.
So, what's a typical work day for you? Is it hectic?
Well, for a project, you have a timeline, meaning the first phase would be requirement gathering, and that's just minimum work. And then you start developing, and then that's when you pull. Well, you have a big project, and then you divide it into modules, and then you divide it into tasks, and your task has a timeline and a due date, and you have to push to meet those deadlines. For Experian, you tend to handle more than one project at a time. So if your development phase clashes, that's the time when it's a bit hard. But other than that, no. It's manageable workload. Still okay.
So, how does the market look like now? Like, if I graduate today, would it be
IT
easy
is
for
fine.
me?
Yeah, IT is fine. Because most companies, even in like oil and gas, you have an IT department. Banks, you have IT department. Telco companies, you have IT department. And even like hospitals, you have IT departments. Universities, you have IT departments. So depending on where you want to go. For example, if say you like programming, then you should pursue it. It's a very harsh road, I would say, especially for a girl. But there's other areas like testing. You don't have much people in testing. There's a Malaysian board of testers. You can take a certificate and stuff. And the government, like AMDAC, provides you a lot of training, especially for colleges, and the certificate has value.
So like if you take software engineering, you can go into all these things?
Yeah. If say you don't like programming, you can go into support, like big support and services companies, HP, IBM, and what T-System. There's a lot of companies, Intel. Depending where you want to go.
So what are the like experiences I should get if I really want to go into software engineering? Like, should I start programming or coding now?
Do you have programming classes?
No, but like there are online classes that.
Oh, okay. Well, if you wanted to go into IT, I think if you already have the programming logic, it's fine. You can go into any language. Like for example, I was a Java developer for 3 years, and then when I went to Experian, I went to the delivery team. Well, it was a good move for me because when you're the one dealing with the client, you get more recognition, and that pushes you up faster. But when I went to the delivery team, you tend to not know just one language. You still had to do .NET, and sometimes you need to do a bit of everything. So for me, you can develop a program language using the first like C. Language C. That's one of the first program. That's how you learn basic programming stuff like selection and stuff like that, looping and stuff like that. Another thing is object-oriented programming. You have programming language and you have object-oriented programming. That's after you already know C. It's called structured programming. Then you should go into object-oriented. That's like the bigger language like Java and C# and stuff like that.
Is the job physically demanding?
No.
I don't know.
You just sit on your ass. Yeah, sometimes you need to go to client sites and depending on where your client is. Like for example, here, well, in my previous company, the clients were made all in Malaysia, so you just have to drive around, you know. And after that, clients were the project I was working was in Dubai and then Abu Dhabi. Then you have to fly around. Here, depending on the project, because nowadays you don't really have to go there, except like certain times, like the requirement workshop gathering. That's when you have to meet the clients. Then that's the only time you have to go. Or if there's a problem, then you need to come down and fix it. But other than that, you can do conference call.
So you do get to travel a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So of course there are stereotypes about women being in engineering.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah. So is that really a challenge?
It is. It is actually.
In what way?
Well, in what way? Well, for me, you couldn't act like when I first started working. You couldn't act like a little girl and expect people to, spoon feed you. You have to work as hard as anyone else. So, and sometimes push even harder, because if say for a position going up, they would see if you couldn't handle the stress. It's regardless if you're a man or a woman. You need to be able to you hold your end up. Yeah.
So how did you cope it?
I think the first year was a bit terrible because when I started work, I was the only woman programmer in my team. Oh yeah, and the other lady was a database admin. Yeah, so it was hard. So to not be sidelined, for me, I took more than I could, more than normal people. I took work more than the guys, so that way I could climb faster and then you get more recognition.
So back in school, did you take after school, like in uni, did you take a lot of physics courses? Was physics a big part of software engineering?
No, I didn't. I did take join like entrepreneur stuff, maybe that helped with the client facing. Yeah, but I didn't take physics.
So physics isn't really a big part of it?
I've never, I mean, from 5 years working, I've never dealt with something that was related to physics.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all coding and people.
Alright. So like basically whatever you learn like physics in high school, that's nothing's related.
Well, our support manager is actually majored in physics in college, so I think it helps maybe. Yeah. In terms of thinking and
In some
stuff.
way.
Yeah.
So if you had the chance to choose again, would you choose the same?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So any last words of wisdom for an aspiring software engineer?
Well, I think one of the challenges, well, for a girl, it would be when I first started working. You know, even if any courses, you still have to pay your dues during your first and second year, right? It's always gonna be hard for whatever course. I have a little sister who's doing medic, pharmacies, and other stuff. All of them went through a horrible 1-2 years, but the thing is, just push through. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the end of the interview. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, sure.
So good luck in your work in the future.
You too.
Thank you.
Good luck in your studies.